I think when we're looking at adapting to change and being successful in 2021, what if you had to give one tip? You've given us a couple of great tips in the first part of this video series, but if you had to narrow it down to one thing, what would be the one thing you would say to leaders, this is what you have to do for 2021?
In my other answer, I said, take care of your people. My answer to this one is take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
This is a stressful, stressful, difficult time. And I co-wrote a book with a guy by the name of Scott Siltnetter, and it was for caretakers, people who are caretakers of people who are, sick and stuff. But the title of the book is Put Your Mask On First. So like when you get on the plane and they say, hey, if you're going to try to help somebody else, before you do, put your mask on first, because you won't be any good to anybody if you don't take care of yourself. And business folks, you're running hard. You're doing good things. But if you burn yourself out, you're not going to be able to take care of people the way I said. If you burn yourself out, your mind's not going to be able to come up with the creative, strategic sorts of things you need to do for 2021. So you just absolutely need to be able to take care of yourself, put your mask on first. And that's the most important tip. I know it might seem like, oh, well, but what about strategy and all this stuff? That stuff is really, really important. But I know in these times, it's so easy to burn yourself out. And so you got to put that mask on first.
Well, I think that goes back to what you're saying, as you said, taking care of other people. So starting with that solid base and then moving forward. Now, one thing we discussed in the first part, again, was about how it's easier for some people to create that natural connection. Mm-hmm. What if it's a little bit harder if you are, a little bit still wary about Zoom and have a bit of Zoom gloom? Is there something you can give us to kind of give us a little bit of a spin on that to keep moving forward, positively creating those connections in a really positive way?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. Let's say you're a more senior leader. Let's say you're a senior leader of a fairly large organization. And frankly, your strength is vision and strategy and numbers, and the people stuff, that's not really your strong suit. That's okay. You don't have to be the superstar that has everything, but it's very important that if I don't have those skills myself, or I'm a little burnt out on the Zoom thing, but taking care of our people is important, make sure you have someone on your team who does. And make sure that the communications that come from you run them by somebody and say, hey, does this sound okay? Or is this coming across a little too harsh? But you don't have to be the person that has all the skill sets. For example, one time, Danielle, I was consulting with a client, excuse me. And he said, Gary, here's my problem. He says, tomorrow, the authorities are going to come in and arrest one of my guys because the FBI contacted me and we got a really bad guy working for us.
Yeah.
He says, and he says, but we're ready. He says, but here's my problem. He's dating one of my best engineers. And she also works for us, and she has no idea this is about to happen. And he says, she's going to need a lot of support. He goes, I'm real good at that. I can't do that stuff, but I've got my HR person lined up who's wonderful with that. And we're going to make sure she's taken care of.
Wow, that is a situation you don't want to find yourself in.
No. So it's just important that whatever your skill set is, like for me, I think I'm pretty good at ideas and communicating with people. I'm horrible at details. I'm awful at details. So I've got to use, support staff. I've got to use technology. I got to use all kinds of things to prop me up. So I can't just say, hey, I'm no good at it. I'll ignore it. You have to say, okay, I'm no good at it. That's okay. I'll use, I'll make sure I have other people who are good at it, or I can use technology to help me.